Good evening guys, welcome to the Pivot Trade, the only channel on YouTube where you get to learn how to profit from trap traders. This is the price action analysis video of the 12th of May 2022, and let's start analyzing Nifty as we always do. So let's talk about the first candle. Why is the opening candle so important for us as intraday traders? See, the opening candle itself suggests to us what sort of a day it might be. By that I mean that it usually tends to set the tone of the day. So let's see here. The opening candle here is a red candle and it opens and closes right outside the S1 support as well as the previous day low. So you can see how that candle has actually very convincingly broken both those pivots, the S1 as well as the previous day low. And you can see that in Nifty, I had told you yesterday that the CPR is very narrow. On narrow CPR days, what do you usually expect? It to be a trending day, right? But Bank Nifty had a wide enough CPR today. It was not narrow. But let's see what Nifty did first, then we'll talk about Bank Nifty. Okay, so you can see that we had really marked this zone here, and this zone was exactly where Nifty had closed today, between that zone. And yesterday I had said that, if you can see here, we had marked this level coming from historical price action. So that was around 15,945. Okay, so if we go back, you can see here that this was the level which we had marked prior. This was the level where price had taken resistance on the 7th of March 2022, and then when price had come to that level again, the 2:40 p.m. candle on the 8th of March had broken out of it and had broken it as a resistance. So you can see how price had stayed below it, twice taken resistance and fallen, and then here again it gave volatility, and then when it actually went up to that level again, it broke right through it, right? So there was not much difficulty for price to break here. So you did not see much price action sideways here before that breakout. And so that level will, I had said, act as a strong or at least a reaction level, if not a strong support, whenever price comes to it from the top, because then afterwards price was trading above that level of 15,945. And going back to today's price action, you could see how that level acted for the first candle. It acted as a support for the first candle here. You can see the wick here. That was where price took support initially, but then immediately it broke it down. So that level was really not important, because the level coming from yesterday, which was the level of around 15,992, that was also broken by the very first candle itself. So a strong selling order was placed right away the moment the market had opened. So the pre-open itself, such basket orders are placed. And so you can see here how price reacted to that selling, and after breaking the S1 and the PDL in this area, it broke these minor supports and then it came right down to the S2 pivot, which happens to be here. Okay, and then it started spending a long time around the S2 pivot here. You can see how much time it has spent within this particular zone itself. A long time has been spent in that particular zone, and price really did not do much here, and it just kept going sideways. So a good support was created around that S2 pivot area. And if you were to see in this area, the S2 pivot was not broken. So those of you who thought that S2 pivot was broken, no, it was not broken, because you could see only wicks, very small wicks on the bottom here. So even here, the S2 pivot was smartly holding, still holding there. And then when price came here, and you can see the wicks here, let's see the time of the candle, it was around 12:30 p.m. and the 12:30 p.m. candle here showed wicks on the bottom. Then the 12:35 p.m. candle also showed wicks. You can see the strong wicks here. These wicks suggest that the S2 pivot or the support at that level was still holding. You could see here that this was the new low that was marked. And now can you see any close below that level prior to this level? No, prior to this wick, no other level or candle closed below it. And then you can see that this was the new support which was produced by this particular candle here, which was this red candle, the red pin bar, and the 12:30 p.m. And then after that you can see that this particular candle again here, it pushed the price past that level, but only a wick was formed. So you can see that this was the new low that was formed, and so you can mark that low off now. So these were the new lows that you can see here, and was actually this particular candle here, the red candle, which actually broke out from that area, but that was not a convincing breakout. You can see these wicks on the bottom of all these candles. Only this was a strong red candle, but then you can see how price reversed after going a little bit lower than that. So you could see a lot of volatility in this area. See how price, after falling, it bounced from here and then it kept going sideways within this particular zone here, and then you can see how price has reacted to that zone. It has gone within that zone right up to this level, and then it broke down, but then again it gave volatility, again it came down here and went up here. When this particular green candle was formed at 1:15 p.m, I had sent out a tweet saying that that is a trap candle for, or rather this was a trap candle for the bears. So bears were all trapped there. Why was this candle so big? Because you could see that for a long time people or retailers were waiting for this S2 pivot to be broken, and the moment they saw that this particular candle, which was the 1:05 p.m. candle, broke down outside the S2 pivot, this one, price abruptly and immediately went up and made these two strong green candles, and all those traders who thought that this was a breakout candle went short on this candle with their SLs above here, and that SL zone created this big green candle, and that green candle went right up to the previous swing high. Where was the previous swing high? This was the previous swing high from where price had initially fallen. So you can see how price action tells us the behavior and the emotions of buyers and sellers. And that is why I keep saying to you that you should learn to benefit from trap traders. You should learn how to analyze price action in the live market, and you should learn how to make profits out of quick thinking. Quick thinking will come out of practice to you too, and you will be able to learn price action as you keep watching charts as they happen in the live market. And that is the reason why I sent out those tweets, so that regularly you can keep your learning in check, and you can definitely learn from these things, the new things that I keep posting on the Twitter channel. So please go ahead and follow me there. And then afterwards you could see that price had a lot of volatility in this area. After the price actually went down, it again went back and broke the S2 pivot in this area. This was technically never a break, as I said, because of the low of this candle. So the low was right here. So technically you could see that this was the candle that actually broke down, but again you could see it was never a breakout candle, and you could expect some recovery in the price after that, because price action was showing you these wicks on all those red candles below it, showing you that there was some support coming sooner than later. So that was the price action analysis of Nifty, and let's go ahead check the levels that we can see in Nifty. Okay, we will just check what is the difference between the PDH and PDL today. We will determine if it's a strong supply zone also. Yes, Nifty has fallen more than 300 points today, although this seems to be a sideways price action for the major part of the day, but then these were very big candles initially, and you could see after the high that it made here and up to this point itself, the fall was around 200 points. So Nifty fell 200 points right at the level the time of around 9:35 a.m. So the 200 point fall was contributed to by only these few candles. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That's around 25 minutes. So 25 minutes contributed to a major fall, after which price gave some stability, and then again after that it went to into another dive after the S2 was broken. That dive was around 90 points, roughly around 90 points, and then it again recovered those 90 points towards the end of the day. So you can see that from high to low, that was the fall in Nifty, around 300 points, and so we will definitely mark the today's high as a strong supply zone. So why are we marking that range as the supply zone? I'll just let you know. First, let me just delete these levels, which are now more important. See, now whenever price comes to that level again, here at this level, if it happens to come tomorrow, you might expect another fall from that area. So just keep an eye out on that area. If price comes to that level tomorrow, the PDH might act as a strong resistance. So it will act as a resistance because it is a supply zone from today, and so it will act as a strong resistance if price comes to that area tomorrow. So you have to keep an eye out on that area tomorrow. If you see that the price is giving any sort of reversal patterns there, then you could look to short that area. Also tomorrow, if price happens to show you some sort of a breakout candle like this here, okay, you will have to wait and watch if it's a strong breakout candle. Most times it might happen that this breakout candle might be a fake breakout candle, and if you go long on this candle high, then if the price reverses from that area, then your SLs might be taken and the price might start collapsing from there right up to the CPR. So if you want to learn to benefit from trap traders, then understand how retailers think. If PDH is broken tomorrow, retailers will look to go long on this candle, and then you should understand that this area will be an SL rich zone. So if you want to go long, you can try that, but if you're in a long position and even you get trapped, then it is a good idea to stop that trade and reverse your position. Okay, so you can stop the position that you are when you get stopped out, that is when your stop loss is hit in this area. Instead of getting out of the market, you can reverse your position and take a short position here and then book your profit at the CPR. I'm not saying that will be the thing to happen, but that is one thing that you can have a strategy about which in mind. So you can have a strategy about it built right before the market opens tomorrow. So whenever you see a sharp fall in the market like this, you have to understand that this area will be a strong seller's area, and if buyers try to, and if they are successful in breaking out from that area, you should see how strong that candle is. If it's not a very strong candle, then I would suggest you to not go long on that candle. But if it's a strong candle, you might try to go long on that candle because it was a breakout candle. But then you must keep a very tight stop loss here below the entry candle, and then if price happens to reverse and take your stop loss, then reverse your position also. Don't keep fighting with the market, don't keep averaging here, so don't keep adding on to positions in these areas. Forget about averaging, take your stop loss here, close the trade and take a fresh short position, an opposite position in the market tomorrow. Why? Because then you can see that if the buyers have failed tomorrow to take the price up from this level, then obviously the sellers will overpower the buyers, and so the sellers will take all the stop losses of the buyers and the price will crash from there. So it all remains to be seen how price opens tomorrow. Okay, so don't just take this at face value, also use your analytical skills tomorrow in the market. What we can do is we can go to the 15-minute time frame, see if we see any important levels at this point. See, we can see the spin bar out here, right, 2:30 p.m. okay, and after that I said that the price had gone up 100 points, but we will not mark the PDL, that is today's low, as a very important demand zone. Let's not mark it because it's not a very important demand zone as things stand as of now. If tomorrow again price bounces from there, then we might be able to say that that level is an important demand zone. And price has found it difficult to trade above this level. You can see this region here, right? So that region is difficult. For price has found it difficult. If you want to, you can mark this area here. This zone is that price has found it very difficult to cross this zone. So you can also mark a zone like this where price has found it difficult to cross it. But since it's an intraday level, I would not suggest you to leave that level there because of the CPR, because then too many levels are marked on the charts and you might get confused. So instead, see, if price were to break out of the CPR from the bottom, then obviously this resistance is not going to hold because it's a minor resistance if price is below that level. And if price comes from the top, obviously you know that there is a CPR, so you will not be shorting it. So for example, if you were to mark this level right here, and if you see that price is coming below like this, you obviously are not going to short because this level is broken. So you're not going to short because the CPR is right here. And if price actually goes up, breaks out of the CPR, then this level is anyway not going to hold. If the CPR is broken by price strongly tomorrow, then this level stands no chance. So that is why I always say that levels close to the CPR should not be marked and charts should not be made unnecessarily muddy. So that was this price action analysis in Nifty, and I don't see any other levels that we need to mark here. All we can do is we can probably extend these levels ahead, the gap and the virgin CPR. Let's go to Bank Nifty. Let's see what sort of levels we have there. Okay, let's first analyze a bit of price action on Bank Nifty. Now you can see Bank Nifty also started the same as Nifty started. Let us see what sort of fall Bank Nifty had. Right from the high it made around this area, right up to this area, it was around 481 points, nearly 500 points that Bank Nifty fell in the first 25 minutes or the first half an hour, you could say. So a major fall in Bank Nifty as well, but Bank Nifty had a larger fall than that in the rest of the day. Let's see what the difference in the day high and the day low for today is. See, it's more than 1,000 points. So it's worse than it was in Nifty for Bank Nifty, and financials did not hold today. And now let's see now what we can analyze this as. So see, the first candle itself opened between the CPR and the S1, and then this was the day low. So Bank Nifty did respect these levels that we had marked initially for the first candle. At least it could not break it in the very first candle, just as Nifty could not break that level, the support that we had marked in the very first candle, but then the very second candle broke it. And then after that you could see that it was a free fall because there was no support in between right up to the S2 pivot. This area was also marked, but these are minor supports and they don't really stand when they are so close to any important pivot or so. You can see here that there is a weekly pivot also, so a cluster of pivots here, and that is why you could see that there was a sideways price action here, and then you could see that there was a fall right up to S3 because again there was no support in between, and the very next support was the S3, and then you could see that price action again went into a sideways kind of a zone here, again this big green candle that we talked about in Nifty as well, and then there was a fall here, a major selling came again back to back, red candles just like it was here and just like it was here. So all of this, it was accompanied by some stability in between, but these were all redistribution phases. So you can see that there are no real swings here, so really it just stabilizes a bit, falls, stabilizes a bit and falls further. So it's just redistribution in the market presently. We don't see any accumulation in the intraday level at least, and we are in a firm bear grip right now. So that was really the price action analysis in Bank Nifty. This candle actually happened to show us some recovery, but that was, as I said, in Nifty as well. I said that it was because of the short positions that were taken in Nifty by traders when the S2 pivot was broken. Okay, so depending on that, let's start analyzing levels here. Let's see what levels can be deleted and what levels can be added. We'll add some fresh levels here, the most important level being the Virgin CPR of today. Let's just extend this gap forward first. Okay, we have a Virgin CPR. Let's just mark it right here. That's the box. And we don't have any gap particularly today. Since yesterday's price action, we could see that Nifty opened within yesterday's range. So no gap has been left. And what else do we see here? We will obviously mark the day high as an important supply zone. But you know, these levels, I'm not sure how well or how much they will be respected once the bulls are back or on the way up. The reason being that it being a firm bear market right now, and since there is a lot of FII selling, you know, the markets are falling unreasonably at this point and the swings are tremendous. And so whenever the FII start to buy again, I don't think these levels are really going to hold. But nonetheless, we do need to mark them at this point at least, because being intraday traders, these levels are going to be super important for us. Let us see on the 15-minute time frame if we see anything else on that level on the chart. See, there's one level that we see which is important here, is the support that price was taking initially, which later changed into a resistance. Why is this area important? Because you could see that the price had been taking support here for a long time, then it was broken here, went sideways, went up again, took resistance at the same level and crashed, isn't it? So this level has been a busy level today, but again I'm saying it is overlapping with the CPR, so don't mark those levels unnecessarily. It's okay, we don't need those levels if it's overlapping with any other important level like a daily pivot or the CPR on the chart. Yeah, so I think those are the only levels that we need to mark right now. It is very easy to find levels on these types of markets when there is a one-sided fall in the market and we don't really see any recovery. So that is it for the levels as of Bank Nifty and Nifty. I hope you've liked this video. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. It really encourages me. Reading your lovely comments, it really is very enjoyable and it fills my day with joy. And also hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified each time I post a new video. Thank you guys for all your wonderful support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a nice day.